If you're running Debian 13, there's a new point release that deserves your attention. Debian 13.6 has arrived, and while it may not introduce flashy new desktop features or dramatic interface changes, it delivers something far more valuable: stability, reliability, and security. That's exactly what Debian has always been known for. Unlike rolling release distributions that constantly introduce new packages and experimental features, Debian follows a conservative approach focused on providing a dependable operating system that users can trust for desktops, servers, development environments, and enterprise deployments. Debian 13.6 continues that philosophy by refining the existing Debian 13 Trixie release with numerous bug fixes, updated packages, and important security patches. If you've been wondering whether it's worth updating, the answer is a clear yes, and in this video, we're going to explore exactly why. The first thing to understand is what a Debian point release actually is. Debian 13.6 is not a brand new version of Debian. Instead, it's a maintenance update for Debian 13 that bundles together all security updates, package improvements, hardware compatibility enhancements, and bug fixes that have been released since the previous point release. This means that instead of downloading hundreds or even thousands of individual updates after installing Debian 13, new users can install Debian 13.6 and immediately receive a much more current system. Existing users don't need to reinstall their operating system. Simply running the standard package update and upgrade commands will bring an existing Debian 13 installation fully up to date with everything included in Debian 13.6. One of the biggest reasons to install this update is security. Modern operating systems constantly face newly discovered vulnerabilities affecting kernels, libraries, network services, browsers, and countless other software components. Debian's security team works continuously to identify these issues and publish fixes as quickly as possible while maintaining the project's strict quality standards. Debian 13.6 includes all accumulated security patches released since the previous point release, helping protect systems against known vulnerabilities. Whether you're using Debian on a personal laptop, a workstation, a home server, or critical production infrastructure, keeping your system updated significantly reduces security risks and improves overall reliability. Another important improvement comes from package stability. Every operating system contains thousands of software packages, and over time developers discover bugs ranging from small graphical glitches to application crashes and performance issues. Debian developers carefully evaluate these problems before integrating fixes into the stable branch. Debian 13.6 collects months of testing and bug reports from users around the world, resulting in a more polished experience across the entire operating system. Applications become more reliable, services behave more consistently, and the overall desktop experience becomes smoother without sacrificing Debian's famous stability. Hardware compatibility also benefits from these maintenance updates. Even though Debian Stable avoids introducing major kernel upgrades during a release cycle, many drivers, firmware packages, and hardware-related components receive important improvements. This helps newer processors, graphics hardware, wireless adapters, Bluetooth devices, storage controllers, and peripheral devices operate more reliably. Users who experienced occasional hardware issues after installing the original Debian 13 release may find that Debian 13.6 resolves many of those problems simply through updated firmware packages and refined driver support. Desktop users will also appreciate improvements across the graphical environment. Whether you're using GNOME, KDE Plasma, XFCE, Cinnamon, LXQT, Mate, or another supported desktop, countless individual applications receive maintenance updates. File managers, terminal emulators, media players, office applications, printing support, accessibility tools, networking utilities, and system configuration programs all benefit from bug fixes accumulated over the past several months. While these improvements may not be immediately visible as new features, they contribute to a smoother, more dependable computing experience every day. Developers also have strong reasons to update. Debian remains one of the most widely used development platforms because of its extensive software repositories, predictable release cycle, and excellent package management system. Debian 13.6 includes updated development libraries, programming language runtimes, compilers, debugging tools, and essential utilities that have received important maintenance updates. Developers building applications, containers, cloud infrastructure, embedded systems, or web services can continue working with confidence, knowing they're using software that has undergone extensive testing and quality assurance. Server administrators arguably benefit the most from Debian point releases. Debian powers countless web servers, virtualization hosts, databases, cloud deployments, DNS servers, mail servers, and enterprise infrastructure worldwide. Reliability is essential in these environments because downtime can directly affect businesses and services. Debian 13.6 improves server reliability through updated system libraries, networking components, storage tools, authentication systems, and security fixes. Administrators can maintain high availability while ensuring their infrastructure remains protected against recently discovered vulnerabilities. Another reason to update is improved software consistency. Over time, installing hundreds of individual updates can leave systems at different package versions depending on when they were installed. Debian point releases establish a common reference point where all officially released installation media include identical package versions. This simplifies deployments across organizations, educational institutions, laboratories, and businesses because everyone begins with the same stable software baseline before applying future updates. Performance improvements also deserve mention. Debian developers rarely advertise dramatic speed increases, but countless small optimizations accumulate over time. Memory management becomes more efficient, background services consume fewer resources, STARTUP routines become more reliable, package management works more smoothly, and system responsiveness improves through incremental refinements. None of these changes individually transform the operating system, but together, they contribute to a noticeably more polished experience for both desktop and server users. The update process itself remains one of Debian's greatest strengths. Existing users don't need to perform complicated migrations or reinstall the operating system. Running the standard update commands through apt-get downloads the latest package indexes, installs available updates, and brings the system completely in line with Debian 13.6. This straightforward process minimizes disruption while allowing users to benefit from all the latest fixes without changing their familiar working environment. For organizations managing multiple machines, Debian's package management tools make large-scale updates both efficient and predictable. It's also worth highlighting Debian's exceptional testing process. Every package entering Debian stable goes through extensive quality assurance before becoming part of an official release. Unlike distributions that prioritize rapid feature delivery, Debian emphasizes long-term dependability. This conservative approach is why Debian is trusted by governments, universities, scientific institutions, cloud providers, and enterprises worldwide. Debian 13.6 represents months of coordinated work by package maintainers, security teams, testers, translators, and volunteers who carefully review updates before they're delivered to users. If you're planning a fresh installation, Debian 13.6 is absolutely the version you should download. Since it already includes all cumulative updates, installation becomes faster and more convenient. Instead of spending considerable time downloading post-installation updates, new systems begin much closer to the current package state. This is especially helpful for users with slower internet connections, system administrators deploying multiple machines, or anyone installing Debian in environments where minimizing setup time is important. Another area where Debian continues to excel is long-term maintenance. Stable releases receive continuous security support and carefully selected fixes throughout their lifecycle. Debian 13.6 reinforces this commitment by demonstrating that the project remains actively maintained well after its initial release. Users don't need to worry about abandoned software or unpredictable update policies. Instead, they receive a steady stream of carefully validated improvements that prioritize security and reliability over unnecessary change. Some users may wonder whether updating could break existing software. In most situations, Debian point releases are specifically designed to avoid that outcome. They focus on correcting problems rather than introducing incompatible changes. While no software update is entirely without risk, Debian's reputation for maintaining compatibility is one of the reasons it remains so popular in professional environments. Following standard backup practices before major updates is always recommended, but for the overwhelming majority of users, updating to Debian 13.6 should be a smooth and uneventful process. Ultimately, Debian 13.6 may not generate headlines with revolutionary features, but it delivers something arguably more important: confidence. confidence that your operating system is secure, thoroughly tested, reliable, and ready for daily work. Whether you're browsing the web, writing code, hosting websites, managing enterprise servers, studying, creating content, or simply enjoying one of the world's most respected Linux distributions, installing the latest point release ensures you're benefiting from months of accumulated improvements developed by one of the largest and most experienced open-source communities in the world. If you're already running Debian 13, updating should be one of your highest priorities because it strengthens your system without changing the familiar experience you already trust. And if you're considering Debian for your next Linux installation, Debian 13.6 represents the best and most polished version of Debian 13 available today, combining exceptional stability, comprehensive security updates, improved hardware support, refined software packages, and the dependable foundation that has made Debian a cornerstone of the Linux ecosystem for decades.